single day, thousands upon thousands of people create YouTube channels. They get started, they make maybe 10 to 20 videos, and then they stop, they give up. The reality is that YouTube, it takes time. It's like a muscle. You gotta get those reps in, you gotta build that muscle, you have to feed it, you have to heal it and stuff like that. It takes time. So, I personally been there. And in this video, I want to talk to you guys on how to grow a YouTube channel and why it takes time. I'm not going to waste your time. Let's jump into it, right? I have my notes, as always. I don't want to bore you guys with that, but I'm just going to reference that throughout this video. But, you got to build, the first thing is got to build a foundation. You got to figure out what you want. Your early videos, they're going to suck. My early videos, they kind of sucked. And that's okay. You're building the foundation and you're figuring out what you want to do. And that's how you grow on YouTube. You're trying to figure out how you want to film, what topics you want to talk about. Do you want to do what niche you want to be in? If that's your thing, are you going to be scripting your videos? Are you going to be talking to the camera? Are you going to be doing voiceovers? You need to lay that foundation. You got to take the time, practice, the camera thing. It's hard. This is all difficult. I've given up more times than I could even imagine. I've taken breaks. I've had doubt. Like, even now, sometimes when I make these videos, sometimes I doubt, anybody will watch them. And that's just me trying to be the perfectionist that I swear I am, right? But you got to lay that foundation. You got to give yourself time and give YouTube data to know, what you want to do or what audience is out there for you, because your tribe is out there. And that's the big deal. Your videos were already great. You just need to find the right people to watch them, or YouTube has to find the right people to watch them, I should say. Let me correct myself. That's the biggest deal. A lot of people get started. As I mentioned, thousands upon thousands of people just start out and give up. My bad, my car just shut off. The next thing is persistence. You got to be persistent. You're going to have videos that may get 5, 6, 7, 10, 0, 100. You may get one outlier that has 1,000. You got to be persistent. Even though an idea that you came up with was great and you said, oh, it's a great idea, and it may not be great for your audience, and maybe another person may like it. You got to, real growth takes time. Just like that muscle I was telling you, you have to train your muscle. You have to train that arm, that leg, or whatever you're training, right? To be strong and able to handle that weight you throw at it. You got to train yourself to go through these peaks and valleys, these low points in YouTube, these points where things are not going to be easy. You're going to get writer's block. You're going to, there's going to be times where you're going to be tired. There's going to be times when, life is going to be lifing, right? There's going to be times where things get really tough, but persistence is going to help you push through this whole YouTube thing. The next one is the truth. The truth is most creators struggle in the beginning. I've struggled. Every now and again, I struggle. How to keep an audience engaged. It's hard. Let's say you have 10 people. You have 10 people you have to show your content to. That's fine. But then if you have to show 10,000 people, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of pressure. It can be hard. The truth is, you're gonna go through this process with 10 people, and then eventually you'll learn how to herd the cattle, if you will, right? You're gonna have to go through that process. It's tough, And then you're already gonna be thinking about cameras, gear, editing, thumbnails, titles, packaging, keywords. You're gonna start thinking about buzzwords like SEO, and the truth is, it's hard. This is all hard. I would tell you, if you don't have someone that you can align with on YouTube, or someone that you're cool with, or someone that in your life that is a content creator, I would get close to them now, because they're going to tell you the same thing. The truth is, this is hard. There's going to be times where no one will watch. There's going to be times where you had a video that did tremendous, and then there's going to be this Those peaks and valleys are a real thing. That's the truth. The next thing, you know, you're gonna want to like discover. You're gonna start to discover new things, right? That you're gonna want to try. There's gonna be trends. There's tons of trends out there. There's gonna be new products that come out. You know, there's gonna be a title that's something that's very, very popular, and everyone's gonna be talking about it. And I think, you know, that's the way, you know, trends and stuff like that are important. You're gonna discover that maybe you want a script, or maybe you're just gonna want to use your phone, or maybe you're gonna just want to stick to a camera that's really old and there's a new one out. You know, you're gonna discover so much. You're gonna see yourself change over time as far as how you approach YouTube and how, you know, these are all things that I've gone through my mind. So forgive me if I'm going on a little bit of a rant, but this is just how I recommend, you know, you perceive it if you're starting out. You're gonna discover like this is not as hard as I thought it was. You know, you're gonna finally push that record button, and you're gonna be consistent. There's gonna be times you're gonna be family's gonna, you know, you're gonna discover that family may get in the way sometimes, or that 9 to 5, you know. But let's move on to the next one. Dedication. The dedication is the next one. You're gonna realize like how can I say this? You're gonna get better the longer you try. You're gonna get better, more reps that you get in. You're gonna put that dedication, that hard work, that you're gonna care about it more than anybody. Like you're gonna think of this as a work of art. You're gonna care about it more than anybody else, no matter what happens. You're gonna be like, this is important to me. It's gonna reward you, because the longer you stay, it's gonna reward you. You know, when people are not thinking about it, you're gonna be thinking about it. Some people may think you may get obsessed. You're just dedicated to wanting to improve. And then at some point, you're gonna get to a point where you're gonna be thankful for anybody who clicks. And I'm thankful for anybody that clicks and watch. But you're gonna dedicate so much time and effort and comfort and just doing this whole thing that is content creation or YouTube or whatever you call it. You know, the next thing is that you're gonna notice progress. You know, 10 or 20 views, 30 views, 40 views, 100 views. I even if like one person watches, and I know that sounds so cliche, but let me be honest with you. I'm a guy with the camera, which is in my hand. I'm just in a car. It's not, you know, it's nothing special, but I never thought a guy from New York with just a camera and inside of a car talking about what he's going through and how he's trying to approach YouTube would, you know, grow this far. You're going to realize that you are bigger than you think. You're going to realize that it's just crazy. You're going to realize that you're larger than life. You know, the world is yours. And I mean that. Like, you can literally do what I'm doing now and talk about anything you want. And I just think you should just set that camera down and just hit the button and talk about how you feel. Don't edit your videos if you don't want to. You know, that's why I don't. I want you to see me as I am, the real me. And I think at some point I'll edit my videos, you know, or, you know, that time may come, but that time is not now. You know, there may be some, you know, if I get lucky, sponsors and sponsor segments and things like that. But the real me and the real you should be the thing that you should put out on YouTube. You're gonna get connect. You're gonna gain connection. Connection is the biggest thing. I've connected with people that I talk to in the comments all over the world, and that's huge. You know, that is the biggest thing. Connection, community, friends, people that are always in the comments, people that you make jokes with, people who share their experiences. You know, a lot of times I hear people's stories in the comments, and I get emotional, because it's like, man, who would think that someone that sits in a car with a camera will connect with people all over the world? That is the most important thing. Connection, people, community, sharing experiences, positivity, you know, alignment, sharing goals, being inspired and also inspired. You know, a lot of y'all inspire me to do things. Like, a lot of the ideas that come from these videos come from comments, thoughts, thinking to myself, because after I answer a comment and I sit down, let's say I'm wherever I am, and I'm like, sometimes I shake my head, I'm like, wow, man, I'm just a regular guy, Anyway, connection and community. I'm just getting a little sentimental. I think about it. Like, I answer every comment. I read every comment, negative or bad. There's also going to be bad comments. It's not going to be, everything's not all sunshine and rainbows. And that's okay. Sometimes I just laugh because, it is what it is. It is what it is. Another one is purpose. Having that purpose, you have that purpose to share your thoughts, share your inspirations, share your skills, share where you are and where you at, and how you feel. That gives me purpose. Work can be very mundane. Doing the same thing every day can be very droll. So having something that's outside gives me purpose outside of everything else. It gives me that fulfillment that I can do things my way, control it my way, do it how I want, and inspire or be inspired. I love that. I can probably do this till I'm, who knows, 90, right? So seriously, I really, these are really important, sentimental to me, and why I do this and how I've done this and how I'm going to continue to do this. And another one is the journey. I enjoy the journey. I enjoy seeing the new cameras. I enjoy seeing the trends. I enjoy seeing, a platform that I can hold in my hand on my phone. I could literally just grab my phone and I have YouTube in my hands. I can answer comments all over the world from my phone. You guys it's literally this. It's literally this, the phone. It's not only the results, the views, the money that you may make, the brand deals. It's the journey. Like, last year, I couldn't even do this talk without, how many times I recorded a video and started, and I was like, oh, this sounds terrible, and ended the video. I did this for years. To look back at that and be here and record, we're already like 12 minutes in, and I have not stopped, and said, oh, I gotta edit this out. Oh, I gotta stop recording. This is huge to me. I never thought I'd be here. I never thought this would happen. I never thought I'd get over the fear of how I could start YouTube and how I can grow a YouTube channel. And the fact that I'm doing it and doing it simply. There's no barriers. And that's another thing. There's no barriers. Nothing will stop you. All you have to do is hit the button and just talk. Obviously everyone has different niches and things like that. But it really is that simple. It's not the camera. It's not your background. It's not how, the only thing I would say is your audio is important. But even that, I film videos on my phone with no microphone connected, and they sound fine if you're just in a controlled environment, and you can control that because you're in control of it. That's important. Those are the important things, not anything else, and lastly, having the discipline to show up. You have to tell yourself you want to do it because you want to, not because someone told you you shouldn't, not because someone told you it's not going to work, not because someone told you you're not going to make money, not because they're going to tell you, someone told you that, oh, you're really not good at talking to a camera or talking at all. Not because, no, you have to have the discipline to do it yourself. Do it because you want to. Have the discernment to show up and deliver, because there is an audience out there for you, And I feel like with these things, if you implement these things, you can grow on YouTube. Even if you have no following, you have no subscribers, even if you don't get views, even if, you have doubt in yourself, because I believe in you, because I'm doing it here. I'm not doing anything special. As a loud truck passes by, I'm not doing anything special. I mean, what's special to me is what I'm saying, not the premise on how I'm doing it. I know there's a lot of YouTubers that have this very, very flashy and things like that. Those times came and went. There's a lot of people on YouTube who are just like me and you, who are doing this, who want to do this, and they can. You can. It doesn't matter if you think it's not going to work, it will work. It will take time. It will take discipline, and you will have to put in the reps in. Going back to building that muscle. You'll build that muscle memory. You'll get comfortable. You'll build systems. You'll set things up. You are and can do this. You are who you are, and that's the best part. You have that the diversity of thought, the diversity of what you enjoy is what makes things compelling and can be easier than anything else. This can be easy. It can't be easier than this. Just turning on a camera. I've been holding this camera for 15 minutes and talking. You talk to your friends, you talk to your family. This is why you should start a YouTube channel and how you can grow a YouTube channel. With these steps, you'll do just fine. There are peaks and valleys, and this is hard, and it takes time, but just don't quit. Do me a favor, drop a like on the video, subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Peace.